Hi, welcome back to Marty and Avrum, the food guys.
Thank you.
You look very dapper and cute,
Thank
by
you.
the way.
Young men.
Yeah, exactly, young man. So we told you that we're going to be doing some interesting stuff through our new show.
Yes.
We talked about doing some series, and this is the first of those series with Teresa Greco.
Right.
Teresa was on our show last week. Thank you for joining us again. We appreciate it. And she is what we like to call, well, you have a name for Teresa, don't you? The Princess of Happiness?
That's right.
Right.
Queen of Happiness. Now.
Do you like our name?
Yes, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, Avrum, our numbers have gone through the roof. We can't believe it. It's just insane. People are telling their friends, their cousins, and the numbers are just getting more and more. We've had people call and say, "We love your show."
We thought you were dead.
They thought we were dead, not you, Teresa.
Not you, Teresa, yeah. Nobody thought you were dead. Anyway, so today we're talking about happiness, but we're sort of looking at it from a different point of view. We're looking at it more so from the mental point of view, right? Like self-love, right? And self-love comes in many, many different forms.
Yes.
Tell us what forms they come in. Happiness comes in.
So we have the four aspects of ourselves. So our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. Love is an innate quality of our spiritual self. So it is really about aligning the other aspects of ourself that may not be in alignment with that love. So we want to look at, are we loving ourselves mentally? Are we loving ourselves emotionally? Because I was hating on myself for years. Am I loving myself physically? So there are steps that we need to take to bring ourselves into alignment and really understanding the communication of all aspects, because it is constantly sending us messages, telling us things, but we're so conditioned to look outside of ourselves instead of really to be mindful and turning inward to see, what is my physical self saying to me today? You know, are my shoulders tight? Am I feeling tired?
Yes.
You know, am I hungry? Do I need to get up and have a stretch? Like, what is my emotional self, my physical self saying? Same thing emotionally. How do I feel today?
But Teresa, when you're overweight and you look in the mirror and you see a person that's heavy or your stomach protruding out, which I've been there, how do you find self-love in that? How do you love yourself when you're seeing an image that's not perfect?
I believe that the essence of who we are is always perfection. That part of us, which is again that spiritual part, is always whole, healed, and complete. It is perfect exactly the way that we are. But then again, it's about aligning those other aspects. And so we have to then think about, am I loving myself when I eat fast food? Or when because we know what we should be doing. We know. We've been hearing about that. The foods that we should be eating, the foods that are good for us, the activities that we should be participating in, doing the walking. We know, right? But it's just like, how do we integrate those things? And it is really always about taking those small steps to say, today, maybe I won't have that pop today because it's not really good for me, or I'm not going to have that extra glass of wine today, or I won't have any alcohol today at all because my liver doesn't like it when I drink alcohol.
Right.
Right? So it's like, if you really honored, this is a temple.
Yeah. This
temple allows us to do everything that we want to do every day. That without
throughout our life.
Yes, and if we don't honor this temple, how can we go about trying to do the things that we want to do? Yeah. So I need to treat this really and honor this to say, okay, if I need to like be my optimum self, like at work or wherever spaces you might find yourself in, how can I do that? Do I need to get more rest? Do I need to limit the alcohol? Do I maybe stay away from those recreational drugs?
Right.
Like whatever that is, physically, and to say, okay, what little step can I take today to bring myself into alignment with that perfection?
But we're so busy hurting ourselves.
Yes,
Teresa.
we are.
We're so busy hurting ourselves and not loving ourselves. And with the situation in the world, with Israel, with everything that's happening, it's hard to find self-love, don't you think, Avrum? What do you think?
Well, it can be. I mean, I find that when I get into a situation where perhaps something negative is happening, that I can turn on myself.
Yeah.
But thank God, being older now, I can put that in check because I've learned how to do that.
And when you say you can hurt yourself, let's say, or be mean to yourself, in what ways would that be? Would it be through your thoughts that you're mean to yourself?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And
I
then,
start thinking negative things, and some old stuff comes out.
Yeah.
I had a fellow who called me this
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
who I had a falling out with many years ago.
Right.
And he's not gotten over the anger, which is unfortunate. And he started berating me. And I hung up the phone, and it occurred to me, that song, I hung up the phone, and I thought, I'm okay. I know who I am.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, it didn't bother me.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
It wasn't a nice thing, yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Well, we've got so much more to find out about self-love and how do we, how do we really love ourselves? And I think what people do is, what I've done is food. It takes away the pain. Alcohol, drugs, you want to consume that, so it doesn't, you don't have to think about the pain. I mean, once I couldn't stop eating. I just ate and ate and ate because it was so painful. But you have given us some ideas, some venue to go and maybe start with something very minuscule. Someone told me, Teresa, that there was a point where I also was thinking about suicide, and my friend said to me, write everything down that's good in your life. Even opening a door or having a piece of food that's good. So how do there's so many people.
Let's come back with that. That's good.
Pardon?
Yeah, let's come
Let's
back
talk
with that.
about
Yeah,
that
great
because
idea.
how do and the other points of self-love. You've come so far on your journey.
and it's work every day.
It is?
Every day, because the world wants to take us away. Wants to take us away. And there's that negative Nelly, the roommate in your head. If you're familiar with Michael Singer's work, he calls it the roommate in your head. Wants to talk negative.
Absolutely. Let's come back and
Okay,
talk about that.
we will come back with that and more with Teresa, who is Mother Teresa right here in person.
Marty's like my booby. He can't say goodbye. Is your grandmother like that? Keeps giving you blessings.
Goodbye, Lindy. Goodbye.